Hey guys, welcome to the Good Stuff Podcast. I'm Derek.
And I'm Ashley. Both raised in Marysville, Ohio, we decided to stay here and raise a family and start two small businesses because we absolutely love our community.
We just want to take some time to celebrate the good people, places, and things here in our community that we love and share some of that good stuff with you.
So, enjoy the good stuff.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 6 of the Good Stuff Podcast.
Hey!
So this week we are going to talk about one of my projects this year for somewhat work-related real estate. Building a community profile for, at least in my opinion, and a bit objectively, what makes a good community. We've decided to stick around Marysville because we believe that it's a good place to live and raise a family, have businesses, etc. Part of the reason I started this Good Stuff Marysville project was people would say, this town's no good. There's nothing to do, and a variety of things like that.
Gosh, I can't wait to graduate and move.
Yeah, and then a lot of people would move back or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I think, really when you compare it to other communities, outside of can we get to the beach in 10 minutes, can you go to the mountains, or, is it hot all the time or whatever. Other than that kind of stuff, it's pretty good economically. Culturally, absolutely. I think we've got the best of both worlds in a lot of respects. So I wanted to talk about that today.
Yeah.
And kind of give you an intro to my project and kind of give you our 2 cents on why we think this is a good community, kind of from an objective standpoint.
Yeah, I like it.
Woo! So the first thing on my list, and that's the wrong list. Let's get to the list. So the first thing on my list is, obviously, it's a pretty good place to be. Last I knew, we were the fastest growing county in the state and like 13th in the nation.
Yeah.
So clearly enough people think it's a good place to be.
Mm-hmm.
I've said it before. A lot of people that have moved here are some of the biggest anti-growth people because they moved here for a small town feel, and that's getting to be less and less of a thing. It's getting to be bigger and bigger. So
I think it's getting to be bigger and bigger, but I don't know that I would say the small town feel is going away. I mean, I think there's still a lot of opportunities to have that.
Well, my 2 cents is I don't walk into Meijer and see 5 people I know. I see 100 people I don't know. So for me,
however, sometimes that just means you get in and out a lot quicker. Not all bad.
Fair enough.
Just saying.
But yes, it's still a small town feel. I think that's still going to be there for some time. And so, to be honest, for me, that some of it is just protecting that small town feel. And
yeah, and I think I'll challenge a little bit in saying I think this kind of ties back to last week. I think even large cities can have pockets of small town feels based on the kind of community you have built, right? The kind of community you have built around yourself, who you're engaging with, how tight those relationships are. I think kind of maybe it's, my kid participates in a certain sport or extracurricular activity, and so like those are my people. This is my tribe. And I think even in large cities, you can find pockets of that small town feel. And I think even in small towns, you can find none of that if the sense of community is just not, if it's not there, if people aren't engaging and people aren't intentionally working to build relationships and maintain relationships. And yeah.
Totally agree. Kind of like last week, got to build and engage with community. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
For sure. And at the end of the day, engagement is what it's all about, and that's one of my challenges always in things is trying to get more people engaged and more people knowing what's going on and to engage in what there is to engage with. I'll stop saying engage.
I think when it comes to growth that we've experienced, I'm so thankful for the leaders in our community, whether that be government leaders, business leaders, nonprofit leaders, you know, economic development, chamber, all those organizations I think have done a really nice job at creating smart growth, right? Not just whoever, wherever, whenever, but how can we build things in a way that will contribute long term to our community? How does our community sustain things? What are we doing within our community to prepare for future growth, whether that be in workforce development or natural gas, all of the things. I think we're so blessed to have a community that is full of knowledge and connections to make sure that and forward thinking vision into the future to make sure that the growth that we have experienced has for the most part been smart. Not that, every community doesn't like bump here or there, or anybody could have predicted how a pandemic might change all of that. But
I think being in a community sense, and like, yes, we've got great leadership and whatnot, but at the end of the day, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody can perfectly foresee the future, and planning for those things, there's going to be things that happen. And, from a community standpoint, having faith in your leadership and having enough respect and faith that they're doing what they can and doing their best to make sure that things are at least an improvement,
and recognizing that within the community, there's lots and lots and lots of avenues to get involved and engaged if you think things are moving in the wrong direction.
If you disagree, participate.
Exactly.
I don't know how many times I've heard people say things, and sometimes I'll respond with, like you've said before, when's the last time you went to a city council meeting to talk to them about that?
Right. Have you called your city council member?
I don't know. Democracy, whatever. You got Ukraine going on right now and all that nonsense in the world, but, be thankful for what you got. You got the ability to engage and I understand it's a big mess and whatever. Anyway, we're going down the negative route, and this is good stuff.
Yeah, there's nothing like a heart punch like this weekend to wish to put in perspective the struggles that we have. And I'm not downplaying anything that people are going through right now, but I am saying that it was a good like wake up call to go, oh, I am so thankful that I'm so thankful that I get to hug you and the girls, and we're not being forced out of negative. There we go. Our heart was tugged out.
Yes.
About that situation. But back to our community. If you see something that you're not sure about, you don't understand, you wish wasn't the thing, there's lots of opportunities to get engaged and involved and help direct the future of our community. So I think we live in a great place from that perspective too. That, we might think that the growth has been smart and we've been happy with things, but if you're not, there's ways to influence that.
But at the end of the day, we can't all get what we want, and so that we're all in it together. We're all one big community. We got to work together, and figuring out what that is not figuring out what that is, but working together is the most important thing. Again, like last week, you got to get along to go along.
Yeah.
I think I said it right that time. Anyway, so being able to work together towards a common good, even if it might not be what you want. And I struggle just as much as anybody. So anyway, my second big point, now that we're 10 minutes in, was that my biggest sales pitch for Marysville has always been we're the best of two worlds. We've got big city on one side, Columbus. I mean, you can be down to downtown Columbus and a lot of stuff within the hour, if not half hour.
Oh, yeah.
Downtown in 40 minutes for us from the north side of town. But you've got the north side of town and the northwest side where you can get out into the country and the rural area. So you can do both of those with small town Marysville in between. So to me, it's the best of both worlds, and it really allows for a lot of options of things. The culture, I think, is the other thing. The small town culture, the collaborative nature of the entities that are doing this planning and thinking about it. I've been in lots of meetings where leadership talks about the collaboration compared to other places. And again, you might not care for what's going on here. Some people might not. But when you compare it to other places, which is kind of my point with this community profile is compared to other communities, our entities, state, maybe not the state, but county, government, city, the chamber, and all of the different entities, schools, work well together compared to other places, other communities. So thankful for that.
Yeah, for sure.
But just the, I think also Honda and the influence Honda's had, obviously from an economic standpoint and Scott's and all of that. But the employment at Honda, at least in years past, has always been, it seems like a good influence on the culture of the community, and the work that it gave the community, and the kind of oneness and camaraderie. You'd see, used to see it a lot more than you do now. I think the white, or just signs that people work at Honda.
Yeah. The dress whites.
Yeah, the dress whites.
Yeah.
And dress whites? Isn't it the military?
I'm not sure what they're supposed to be called, which is terrible.
I thought it was just whites.
The white uniforms. That's what we're talking about.
It's not like your dad worked at Honda for 30 years.
No. I hope you're not listening, Dad.
Anyway.
Oops.
Yes, that, and there were definitely people out there that influenced that culture that went on. And so the economic stability and finances that came out of Honda, and allow for our community to prosper, and hopefully for a long time moving forward. But a lot of good culture, in my opinion, and good hardworking people work together, towards common good. The schools take care of the kids, and just all around
Collaborative space.
well, collaborative space, and collaborative. Thank you. So anyway, all of those things added in.
Yeah, I think going back to the small town, big town, like you can, our differences. You can drive 35 minutes and go see an off-Broadway show, which I love to do. Not that you don't love to do that, but you love to do that because I love to do that. And then here, and we've got lots of fantastic things. If you don't know what we have here, jump back to episode 2 and our conversation with, or 3, whatever it was, in our conversation with Amanda Morris. We talk about lots of really positive things to do here, or art that you can consume here. That was episode 1 or 2 or something. I'm not sure. Anyway, look back.
Encore and arts.
Yeah. But I was going to say we also have, excuse me, we also have a really great and thriving agritourism kind of industry in our community. So, the ag industry has been incredibly influential in our community's history, in Union County's history, and the agritourism that's come out of that is super, super fun, and a great way for people who maybe are moving in from a larger city, or who tend to go the city route. It's a great way for them to get involved in our agricultural roots, and I didn't even plan that, our agricultural heritage as well. So super fun things there, which I think is really cool, that you can, 35 minutes one way, 35 minutes the other way, whatever, within an hour, really just about anything you want to, like you said, other than a beach, which I don't know if we can figure out how to do that. I'm sold. But anyway.
I'm sure we can build one. But yes, at the end of the day, we might not be the mountains or the beach or Las Vegas or whatever, but there's lots to do.
Yeah.
And so that's part of what this episode's about, is kind of giving you an overview of the community profile I look to build by the end of the year, talking about schools and the economics and the restaurants, places to eat, the bars, restaurants, those kind of things. Basically, shops. Yeah, just in general, what to me, I look at it as, what does it take for a community to provide the opportunity for me to live a full life? Work, basically live, work, play. What are those different components? And so anyway, I look to learn some stuff moving forward, and hopefully learn more than I know now. But also, bigger point is engage with all of you, and learn from the audience, learn from the community, and expose, hopefully teach you guys something, and get provide an opportunity to get involved that you didn't know about before.
Yeah, I think when it comes to, you're talking about different areas in the community to highlight, and at the same time, different entities that have that collaborative nature. I think, like you mentioned, from an industry perspective, whether it's the big industries like Honda and Scott's and the reformatory and the city, the county, people who employ the hospital system, the people who employ a lot of people, beyond their commitment to seeing the community thrive beyond just its associates, right? And so, yes, they provide a great place to work, sustainable employment, great benefit, all that kind of stuff. But they do more than that here, right? I feel like there's so many of those large industries that also say, as a whole, obviously they recognize that when the whole does better, they do better too, right? When the water line rises, if everybody's in the water, everybody rises, So, but I see them at the table when it comes to how do we make the community a better place, whether they show that through their time, their talent, their energy, their money, their resources, whatever it might be, I think is super cool. And then the flip side, not that small businesses don't do that either. I mean, that's like us, right? I think, I'd like to think we're sort of the heartbeat of the community. Maybe.
Of course.
Right? Yeah. But I think too, then the schools, I'm super excited for you to dive into that because we're both graduates of Marysville High School, and what Marysville High School was when we graduated and what Marysville High School is now. And this isn't just Marysville, but all of the schools in our community, is there's been so many changes, so many really, really, really cool changes. And I thought we had a lot of great opportunities when we went to school there, especially because I went to school at OU. And so eventually when I went to in graduate school and was like investigating schools in Southeast Ohio, some of the schools in Appalachia, is like, wow, we were blessed to go to Marysville. We've got it a lot better than some of the other folks. And so, but now there's even more opportunity for kids and more individualized learning. And between Tri Academy and the STEM school, and it's amazing how much the school systems have changed and grown and adapted and are looking forward into how the workforce is changing and how we're seeing that impact in the in-class curriculum teaching is super, super cool.
Mm-hmm.
There's a turf program at the high school. Did you know that?
There is.
How cool is that? Like
grass,
yes,
football.
yeah. In your old stomping ground area, like where the ag room stuff is.
Did not know that.
I know. There's cool stuff. There's a performing arts pathway. There's a performing arts pathway. All kinds of stuff.
So anyway, that's the point of the episode, or this conversation is to tell you about the path moving forward to build kind of this community profile of what a good community looks like. And what was that other thing I was going to say?
I don't know, but what just popped into my head was like, when I think about what a good community looks like, I'm like instantly reminded of those like care train mornings or the fair auction days or, those sorts of things where it's like the room is full of community leaders, of business owners of small, medium, and large size, just like average community folks, right? Who are all there to raise each other up. They're there buying animals from the kids. They're there, answering the phones on Care Train Morning, or they're, buying up packages to lift everybody up. I think to me, that's indicative of a good community. That's where I want to be. I want to be where those people are. And everybody knows my name. I couldn't.
Cheers.
I couldn't help it.
Yes. So to start wrapping things up, so I put a poll out on social media. Not really a poll, but asked for input of why people moved here, people that recently moved here. So I'm going to check that out in a minute.
Also, listen, when you're answering the question, don't be grumpy. This is good stuff. Okay? Don't be grumpy. Don't be like that.
I second that. And third. No, what I was going to say, we live, I don't know, what is it, 12 miles north of Marysville, technically. So we're not even technically in Marysville, but Marysville is our community.
And our businesses are in Marysville.
Our businesses are in Marysville. But anyway, so when I say good stuff Marysville, I don't mean like you're living in city limits and just city limit things.
Yeah.
But to me and us, it's, our community is anybody who, live, work, and play in Marysville.
Yeah.
But also all the things that there are to do within a, half hour drive of here. And so basically, like I said, that you can live a full life in and around Marysville. So to me, that's community, and anything associated, it's fair game. Let me get my phone.
Yeah.
She's acting like we didn't just rant for like 20 minutes about the negative comments on Facebook. I'm going to address it, but we're just going to cut out the negative comments and our response to it. But like my lovely wife just said, if there's something you don't like, bring a solution to the challenge or the problem, or just tune in or try to find and do some research, because there are a lot of great things, and that's what this is about. So if you're on Good Stuff Marysville and you just want to crab, there are plenty of other sites. That's why this one exists. Complain over there.
Yeah, there are a lot of other sites you can complain
Which
on.
honestly is why I started this Facebook project and just project in general to be a positive. So that's the last thing on my list, other than the challenge for the week.
But you did have some good comments. There were positive comments. People moving because pricing, being close to family, small town feel, great opportunity for kids. Sorry. Just trying to keep it.
Okay, so there were some good comments. Thank you for those that participated in the poll I asked on Facebook and on Instagram stories. Anyway, yes, there were a lot of good comments about why people moved here, so I'll include those later on. But the last thing on my list was I hopefully want to be a positive influence on the community. Engaging people with other restaurants and businesses and organizations and parks and all the good things going on. Focusing on that, not on the problems and the lack and woefully lacking restaurants and all of that nonsense. So anyway, hopefully be a positive impact on your day occasionally throughout the weeks and the months. So thank you for those who had good comments. At the end of the day, just looking to go over, tell you, I'm just rambling at this point.
You're just flustered now.
I am. I'm so sick of
grumpy
people, and like, stay in your own lane, do your own thing, unless you're going to be a positive impact on somebody else's day. And if they're not messing with your day, you move on.
This is a good rule. We talk about this. Well, we don't have to correct. But when you're going to post something online or comment online, just pause. It's sort of like they tell you when you go to buy something super expensive. Don't do it right away. Give yourself some time to really feel like, is this something I should be purchasing? Same thing. Stop. If you're getting ready to hit the post button on something that's super grumpy, just wait for a second. Do I really need to post that? Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it true? Those are the 3 rules, people. Is it helpful? Is it kind? Is it true? If it doesn't pass all 3, just delete it. Maybe just because you typed it out and delete it, you'll feel better. Just don't hit send. Come on now. We can do better than that.
Yes, I like those rules, and those are the new rules. Otherwise, you're getting kicked off of the Facebook page, whatever that's worth. Anyway, so again, this rambling rant was all about pay attention moving forward. Planning to get release some videos and content about why this is a good place to live, in my opinion. And if you don't like it,
yeah, and I think we do not know everything about this community at all. So hopefully that's why we're bringing in some people who can fill us in, who can teach us some things, who can teach you some things. But we want to hear back from you. What are some things that you really want to learn about in the community?
That are helpful, kind, and true. There you go. Easy enough. So yes.
That's right.
Please engage. Follow those rules. And if you want to be interviewed or come in here and share your good stuff with us, we'd love to have you.
Yeah.
As long as you're not grumpy. So,
no grumps allowed.
To sum things up, got a community profile, just working on telling you about the schools and interviewing people from the schools and the restaurants and the bars and what do we really have, and really
agritourism shopping,
all the things that are there. Yes, we might not be Columbus, but if you want Columbus, go to Columbus.
No.
Okay, here we go. Thank you, McKenna Harmon on Instagram. Let's see, proximity to Columbus and Honda for work reasons. Thanks for participating. Anyway, so to keep finishing things up, stay tuned. hopefully have a lot more information from people that are smarter than me, that know what's going on. And if you are one of those people, feel free to share your information in a positive light. But yeah, at the end of the day, this is aimed at being a positive impact on the community, and an opportunity for us to engage with the community. So, challenge for this week after 30 to 3 minutes. We're not doing too terrible. Anyway, so the challenge for this week is to think about why you really enjoy it here. And if you don't, why don't you?
Yeah. Is there something you can do about it?
Yeah. If in all honesty, for the crappy comments out there, if there is something that you're having a hard time with in this community, my guess is there's probably something else that can help fill that void. So yeah, reach out to somebody, reach out to us, and we'd love to do what we can to help you love where you live. That's kind of my goal, generically, in all that I do, business and in this endeavor. So yeah, and the last part of that challenge, let us know what that is. Why do you enjoy this community? If there's something we can do to help you, we're here for you.
Yeah.